I'm excited to be here in the start of the season. We've been pretty entrenched in the season already. I feel like we've been here for a very long time. Very excited about our season, getting our first win at home against Kentucky. The exciting part is that we're showing a lot of sophomores and freshmen and have some older leadership in some spots, but mostly we're young. So to get the result at home is very exciting. And obviously not a good result against Stanford, one of the top teams in the country. But any coach will tell you that when you play a game like that, you learn from it, you move on, and I'm really excited about what we're going to gain from that game and how we're going to impose it in the next couple games coming forward. So I told the players after the game that some of them didn't lack much college experience, but they just got it. So we will spend a lot of time breaking down video, and I'm really positive and excited moving forward with this group and what they can do and their future. So.
I don't know if you've had a chance to look at much video from yesterday, but what are those takeaways? What are the lessons, at least the quick ones that you have from the first watch anyway?
Oh, yeah. I watched a lot of it already. So it's the first thing you do in the morning when you come in here. The biggest things was the details. I think our transition wasn't very good from offense to defense. When you make a couple mistakes, a team like Stanford really capitalizes on them very quickly. And I think when we watch the film as a group, we're going to kind of look at those mistakes. And those are things that can be corrected without much skill work. So I think the focus is going to be on staying in the moment, understanding what we're tactically doing, not turning off. I think part of it was a little bit of fatigue, playing 2 games on a Friday and then traveling to Marquette to play Stanford. So I think it's things that I told them after the game, it's items that doesn't really require that much training. It's going to take just their willingness and wanting to be good and changing that. And I believe this group has that ability. They have good leadership. And I think if people come out on Thursday, to see us play against Creighton, I think they're going to see a whole different team.
Do those mental aspects, I would imagine that's not something you can really work on too much in the couple weeks you have before you start playing. That's stuff that has to happen in those 90 minutes, right? That the lessons that you get from those.
Right, and for us, we lost 6 starters last year with some injuries, another 7. Obviously, losing Rose Lavelle, it's not easy to do. So we spent most of our preseason trying to figure out who's playing in what position, organizing them that way. And, we've had some great players step up, young players, Lauren Rice and Dania Rhodes returning, and she's healthy now, and Maya Sella and Cami Murtha. All these young players are getting on the field and exciting. But until you get to experience the speed of Stanford, you can't mimic it in training. And so what I said is if we don't learn from this and move forward, then we've lost an opportunity to get better. And I truly think that we're going to be better on Thursday and better on Sunday just from this game alone.
So now that you mentioned Rose, I'm just to ask, I know that she scored her first, big stage goal over the summer. Do you guys still talk? I mean, just for a lot of the girls here right now to see that, it has to be really inspiring.
It is, and in fact, when I was walking down here, I was texting with Rose back and forth because she's heavily involved watching the games. She is still invested and kind of almost even giving me information saying okay, this happened a couple of years ago, just relax, just keep teaching them, keep moving forward because she's been through that experience. So she's a huge, supporter of the players. I know she's in contact with them all the time, but heavily invested in being a Badger, and we're really proud of her. The kids got a chance to see her play often this summer when she was healthy, and just really thrilled for her the success she's had with the national team, and we're wishing her much health to return and get back on the field because we think it's going to be a bright future. And she really, created some stuff here, but I think the opportunities that we gave her here and how she took advantage of them really helped her propel to that next stage. So.
Can you put a value on every time they mention that she's a first-year player out of Wisconsin, on a broadcast or anything, or even, just in passing whenever they talk about her? That means a lot to, your future efforts, doesn't it?
Well, a huge amount. I've got recruits in email saying I want to be the next Rose Lavelle, and I think that just is amazing. I thought the first game or second game she played in, and Tony DeChico was wearing a cheese head. And I thought just not even for our soccer team, but for the state and for the university, she really has brought a lot of attention to it. And when she scored her first goal, and I think it was the first goal any Wisconsin soccer players ever scored on the international level, it really has been, great, because it shows that if you want to play at the highest level, you can come here and be developed into that to reach it. And huge credit to Rose. She put a lot of work in, and she's a very talented person. But, she was so invested in this program. If you ever talked to her about her experience here, it was wonderful. And we're just happy that she did that. But again, every time they say Rose Lavelle, and when she gets healthy and gets back on there again, I think it's going to get more and more visibility. So it's been great.
I know you can't really replace her, but who do you see in the mix for playing that position anyway?
Right now it's Victoria Pickett, and she's come off of being at the World Cup with the Canadian group. I was talking to Vic after the game. She feels sometimes pressure to replace Rose, and I said that you're completely different than Rose, and that we have to create our own pathway, and that she also has to realize that she's not what Rose was her sophomore year wasn't what Rose was her senior year. And so just trying to get her to slow down. Athletically, Victoria's probably one of the most gifted players I've ever coached, and I have right now 3 players on the national team who are doing that. So, just getting her experience again, and she's in a little bit different role than she was with the national team and with us her freshman year. So, even the game against Stanford is going to make her a little bit better. She and I will watch a lot of film to get better ideas of what to do with the ball and what we ask of her. And I think that's going to be the next thing. And I think that she can have a great impact just like Rose can, and she can have a great future in the pro league too. But I always say Vic, sometimes her mind stops her a little bit, and once we get past that, she's going to be fantastic.